I'm a fourth generation farmer, and our operation actually started in 1913 and then progressed throughout the years to my granddad and then my dad and then to me. And after I graduated college, I had to make the decision, what am I going to do? So I just came back to farm. So I've never had a job, but I have worked a little. I came back to farm, and of course that was in 1978. And at that time, my dad and my granddad were still farming conventional tillage because that's the way it was done. But the one thing that they did do back then, they would broadcast rye as a cover crop into the cotton ground. The reason they did that was because we've got really sandy loam type soil. After you get the cotton out and you get a hard rain and pound that ground, that stuff would just blow away or wash and break the terraces. It'd just be horrible. So they broadcast cover crops every year, and it's oftentimes they would graze it. It sounds terrible, but look how much organic matter we got into that ground throughout the years. And they probably did this 40 or 50 years when I came back to farm. I farm now with my son Spencer, and we do mostly no-till cotton is what we do. Right around 2010, 2011, I got on the Soil Conservation Board. Started going to all these meetings, talking about soil health and cover crops and no-till and organic matter. And pretty soon we said, well, shoot, let's just quit the strip till and go no-till. And that's what we did. And it worked really, really well. Whenever we switched over, we did get rid of a lot of our equipment. In fact, but like we still keep a strip till rig because sometimes like our turn rows, we'll have to go in there and strip till them because you get compaction issues there. That's almost the only time that we will strip till, except for maybe if we're doing some rotation and going into a field that has been grazed and heavily grazed and got compacted, with some cattle and stuff. Sometimes we'll strip till that. We still got some old equipment, but it hadn't been used in a long time. I still got a moldboard plow, but it hasn't been used in 20 years probably. We have had some challenges. One of the biggest issues that we're having with the no-till situation is the weed problem. Weeds are getting so resistant to these chemicals that we have to really watch what we do. We gotta scout these fields and get them when the weeds are, tiny. Another issue that we've had on the no-till deal, it's hard for us to get a residual herbicide in the ground because you got so much cover there. If you spray it out there, you got to get a rain to incorporate it into that ground. And when you have a dry year, we'll go in and shred our last year's stalks at probably 5 to 6 inches tall. If you have a dry year, they don't deteriorate. So they're standing there and they are tough. And when we run our planter over that, your gauge wheel tires right next to your seed openers, it would just chew them up because the original tires are made out of rubber, and we're just having to replace them sometimes every year. We got together with a friend that is a machinist, and we said, can you figure out some way to make us a tire that will stay on there? We did. He figured out a way to make this hard plastic tire to go on our planters. In fact, that was in 2012. We're still running the same ones on our planter today. I think that was another big thing when we went no-till. We can spray a lot of ground. With our sprayer, you can get 150 acres an hour. Well, if you're plowing ground, that don't work. So I think time and labor had a lot of issues to it also, as well as we wasn't losing soil, we wasn't losing fertilizer, and plus when it rains and you got that cover crop out there, it just takes in that moisture. And it stays there a long time, really does. Like in a perfect year, when we have the good rains and everything, you're not gonna see a whole lot more yield on no-till versus conventional till. But take for instance last year when we were in an extreme drought situation, where we had all no-till cotton, got a stand, harvested a crop. It made roughly a bale of the acre. Yeah, it wasn't a fantastic crop, but it was a crop. Whereas conventional till ground and even strip till ground, they didn't even have a stand because anytime you till that soil, you lose that moisture. And we just didn't get the rains to get it back in there. We harvested a crop and they didn't. And so I think that's a big deal. Well, I think that one of the most important things in our operation probably started with my dad and my granddad when they started doing this cover crop 50 years ago. I really think that has helped our operation so much, and we're going to continue to do it. I'm not going to go back conventional till.